Here we took an idea that everybody was sure couldn't be done, and we just did it. Looking back now, yeah, it looks easy, but it wasn't.
Unless we as an industry take a step that can reverse this trend toward lower quality, then the beef industry could face some pretty difficult times in the years ahead.
We were losing market share. The Angus bulls were not popular.
And consequently, it had a drastic effect on the number of registrations that we had. We went from 400,000 in '68 to 134,000 18 years later.
I want to tell you a little bit about how it all got started. Less than 20 miles over the hill at Marshallville, there was a farmer named Harold Etling. He believed that Angus were superior quality beef producers, and Harold felt that the American Angus Association could do a much better job of promoting Angus quality in the marketplace. And shortly thereafter, we got enough funding to hire an executive director.
When I took a job, I said I'll do it for 2 years. 2 years turned into eternity.
I was the helper. I don't know that I was an employee, but yes, I made folders on the living room floor. And they had board meetings at my house, and so I would cook and serve them meals.
When we first started going to CAB board meetings, they were in Virginia's kitchen. And if Virginia hadn't been such a great cook, we might not be here tonight.
We were the total staff. We were all the technology, from the floor sweepers to the president. But starting Certified Angus Beef, extremely difficult, because at that time we were the first organization attempting to brand a beef product.
And an idea that was absolutely not just new, but foreign to the people that he was visiting with. He walked into Packers and sat down and said, here's what we want to do.
He just was going door to door trying to get some way to get some traction for this program.
And for the most part, that couldn't be done. But Mick didn't know it couldn't be done.
Many of them said,
that sounds like a good idea.
That's a wonderful program.
It sounds like a great idea.
This is a great idea. After you get it started, come and see me.
But when you get it started, you come back to me.
Come back to me when you get it started.
Let me know when you get it started, will you, Mick?
So they're turning down.
I don't know how many doors Mick had slammed in his face. Surprised he still got a nose.
10 months just trying to put a structure together and to find those that would work together. And we sold the first pound on October 18th of '78.
This is Orion Samuelson with Mick Colvin, who is director of the Certified Angus Beef Program.
Yesterday, we launched this program in Columbus, Ohio at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you're doing something that I'm sure a lot of different commodities have tried to do over the years. Do you foresee problems?
We expect some problems as we develop this program because this is a new era.
We sold the first pound on October 18th. On November 2nd, 2 weeks later, the United States Department of Agriculture actually canceled our program. As many of the board members have said since, that they didn't think there was any chance because it was a David and Goliath situation.
Would have made a lot of people just give up. Here's a Undersecretary of Agriculture saying you can't do this. A lot of people would have said, well, I guess we're done. That wasn't the way it was.
We spent exactly 6 months working with the United States Department of Agriculture, reestablishing the Certified Angus Beef Program.
town meeting as chairman. I made my report. The president started the meeting by saying, "Johnson, how long are we going to keep paying for this dead horse?"
The bottom line is that our registrations were low. We were having a hard time in coming up with the funds to fund Certified Angus Beef.
I went to Fred Johnson and said to Fred, what are we going to do if they actually vote to terminate Certified Angus Beef?
We had board members and we had staff members who were not opposed to CAB, but their concern was how we fund this thing with when our revenue is going down daily.
We lost $100,000 a year there for a few years. You just can't go on that way very long.
We'd already let some people go, and it was getting pretty scary.
There was not much question in our mind. With all the struggles that we had been through the previous 2 or 3 years, we were positioned for growth and for success. So it was a matter of trying to convince that board of directors.
There was a motion to terminate the program.
Many of us were frustrated, and it wouldn't have taken much more problems to throw in the towel.
The vote was 8-7 for the association to keep funding and keep on with Certified Angus Beef.
At this time, in a little office in West Salem, Ohio, Mick Colvin was causing a stir within the cattle industry. Press releases were being circulated about a successful branded beef product. The demand for Angus feeder calves began to improve, as well as the demand for Angus bulls, Angus seed stock. Indeed, we have enjoyed 16 years of unprecedented growth and popularity.
You know, the rest is history. I mean, it's one of the great success stories in the history of American agriculture.
When we look at the overall market of Angus cattle, it has been totally influenced by the Certified Angus Beef program.
When you look at what the bull sales are averaging throughout the country and in the West, there's a reward. Through CAB, Angus is a household word. Whoever thought that we would get to that place?